The wedding dress of Princess Victoria Mary of Teck, who later became Queen Mary, remains a remarkable symbol of royal elegance and British craftsmanship. Worn at her marriage to Prince George, Duke of York, on the 6th of July 1893, this dress not only encapsulated the fashion of the era, but also reflected the national pride and personal taste of the princess. This video delves into the intricate details and cultural significance of this iconic gown, which has been preserved as part of Britain's royal heritage. Mary of Teck was born on the 26th of May 1867. She was the Queen of the United Kingdom and the British Dominions, as well as the Empress of India, from the 6th of May 1910 until the 20th of January 1936. She was the wife of George V. Mary was born and raised in the UK. Her father was Francis, Duke of Teck, a German nobleman, and her mother was Princess Mary Adeline of Cambridge, a granddaughter of King George III. People often called her May, which was a nickname based on the month that she was born. When she was 24, she got engaged to Prince Albert Victor, Duke of Clarence and Avondale, who was her second cousin once removed and next in line to become king. Unfortunately, he died suddenly from influenza 6 weeks after they announced their engagement. The next year, Mary got engaged to George, Albert Victor's younger brother, who later became King George V. Before she became Queen, Mary held the titles of Duchess of York, Duchess of Cornwall, and Princess of Wales. Mary served as Queen Consort starting in 1910 and supported her husband during World War I, his health problems, and the political changes after the war. After George died in 1936, Mary's eldest son, Edward VIII, became king. However, he gave up the throne later that year to marry Wallis Simpson, a twice-divorced American. Mary then supported her second son, George VI, who became king after Edward. She died in 1953, shortly before her granddaughter Elizabeth II was crowned. Mary's name was given to an ocean liner, a battle cruiser, and a university in her honour. Prince George, Duke of York, and Princess Victoria Mary of Teck got married at 12:30 p.m. on the 6th of July 1893 at the Chapel Royal in St James's Palace. This was the first royal wedding at this chapel since 1861, after which Queen Victoria mourned her husband, Prince Albert's death, deeply. Since then, most of Queen Victoria's children had gotten married quietly at St George's Chapel in Windsor Castle. On their wedding day, George saw his bride-to-be, Mary, unexpectedly down a long hallway at Buckingham Palace. He bowed deeply to her, a respectful gesture she always remembered. The wedding party travelled from Buckingham Palace to St James's Palace in 4 large processions of open carriages. The first procession carried the royal household staff, the second had Duke George and his group, followed by Princess Mary with the Duke of Teck and Prince Adolphus in the third procession. The last one included Queen Victoria, the Duchess of Teck, and Princes Frederick and Alexander of Teck. The wedding, which was the first public royal one in 32 years, attracted a lot of spectators along the way. People cheered for the couple enthusiastically, and Mary acknowledged the cheers with a shy smile and a small, nervous wave of her white-gloved hand. Let's take a closer look at the wedding dress Princess Victoria Mary of Teck wore on her special day. The dress she wore when she married Prince George, Duke of York, who later became King George V, on the 6th of July 1893, at the Chapel Royal in St James's Palace. It is now kept as part of the British Royal Collection. This dress is displayed with other royal wedding dresses at Kensington Palace in London. The design of Princess Victoria's wedding dress was influenced by her mother, the Duchess of Teck, who insisted that the dress and the bridesmaids' outfits be made entirely in Britain. This decision was likely influenced by her role as president of the Ladies' National Silk Association. When Princess Victoria, often called Princess May, got engaged to Prince George in early 1893, Arthur Silver from the Silver Studio was chosen to design her gown. Silver had also designed the wedding dress for Princess May's originally planned marriage to Prince George's older brother, Prince Albert Victor, Duke of Clarence and Avondale. However, Prince Albert Victor died suddenly in January 1892, just after the dress was revealed, so that design was never used. For her wedding to Prince George, the dress designed by Silver was called the May Silks and included delicate embroidery featuring the symbols of a rose, shamrock and thistle. It was also adorned with traditional elements like orange blossoms and lover knots, a style influenced by both Art Nouveau and Japanese art. In March 1893, the Duchess and Princess May visited Warner & Sons factory at Hollybush Gardens in Spitalfields, London, where they commissioned the creation of a fine white silk woven with silver thread specifically for the July wedding. The wedding dress of Victoria Mary of Teck was made by Lintel & Curtis on Albemarle Street. The front part of the dress was crafted from white satin and decorated with 3 layers of old Honiton lace, previously used on her mother's wedding dress. The bodice was designed with a high cut at the throat and extended into a long, pointed shape, made of a white and silver brocade fabric designed by Silver. It also included a touch of her mother's Honiton lace at the top and on the upper sleeves. Over her shoulders she wore a rich satin cloak known as a manta de corps. The train of the dress was long and simple, although there were reports that there was no train at all. The veil, also inherited from her mother and made of Honiton lace, was secured with diamond pins, a gift from Queen Victoria. To complement the theme of orange blossoms found on the dress, small wreaths were placed around the bust and in her hair. Princess Mary accessorized her look with several diamond pieces, a tiara and earrings from Queen Victoria, a necklace given by the Prince and Princess of Wales, and an anchor brooch, a wedding gift from Prince George. Interestingly, the veil was the only item from her wedding attire that she never wore again. An observer from the Times noted on the 8th of July 1893 that Princess Mary entered her wedding to the tune of the Bridal March. She looked very pretty with her eyes downcast and cheeks flushed. Her dress of silver and white brocade was simple yet elegant, decorated with clusters of shamrocks, roses and thistles. Contrary to some reports, the dress did not have a hindering train, and a plain bodice highlighted her figure. Her bridal veil pulled back from her face, and clusters of orange blossoms, along with a bouquet of white flowers in her hand, completed her stunning appearance. The wedding dress of Princess Mary, meticulously crafted with layers of history, symbolism and artistic design, stands as a testament to the grandeur of royal weddings and the meticulous attention to detail that defines them. Today it continues to captivate and inspire, preserved at Kensington Palace among other royal attires. Reflecting on this gown offers a glimpse into the past, showcasing the enduring allure and significance of royal fashion.